Yo, it's Ika here, bringing you a great GBU game against two of the toughest guys in the league, Darkinium versus Noved. This is for BSPL. I believe it's Helmets versus the Drummers. Currently the Helmets are winning 3-0, but we'll have to see how it goes. So both of these guys bringing like pretty standardish GBU teams. I'm glad to see Noved's bringing Thunderous T. Usually he's a Thunderous Eye, more of a Thunderous Eye guy, but Thunderous T looks very good in this matchup. Depending on the set. I think the biggest Conqueror also looks excellent on Noved's team. I think Noved has the advantageous matchup. A few things that I could see being threatening on Dark's team is the Bomber Snow. Looks to have a very decent matchup versus Noved actually. Most Bomber Snows are Sash or Scarf. Most likely we'll see Noved bring in the Conqueror every single game this series. Just to check the Bomber Snow. Yeah, so I like from Noved's end. I expect to see Conk, expect to see Fund, and depends on the sets. Normally Landress T is Scarf in GBU, so but he'll need a Volcarona check as well. Some sort, whether that's Latios, like Spec Psyshock, or the T-Tar. That could be like a Sash T-Tar as well. On Doc's end, yeah, I expect to see the Bomber Snow game 1, as well as Suicune has a decent matchup. Maybe Yachiberry, a Yachiberry Garchomp could be very good here actually as well. Just all it would need is to soak up one hit from the Thunderous T. Sizzle unfortunately doesn't. I mean, it could work if it was like Flying Gem. So that's another possibility. So we're going to see game 1. We're going to see the Conqueror lead versus Suicune. Right here, this matchup can kind of go either ways depending on the sets. But we see us hard switch into Thunderous. That skull damage kind of just indicates like that Suicune probably defensive, just a standardish set. This Fund, like you've got an easy Volt switch here potentially, although Garchomp can come out. So do we see the Volt switch? Okay, we see a U-turn. U-turn's interesting on Fund because the reason for this is obviously it does do well against the Garchomp. I was running U-turn versus Noved because he likes to run like a single ground type, and I don't want to predict HP ices. So yeah, Conk, not surprised to see Conk as his Bomber Snow check. So we see the World Cup here. Are we going to see the Guts activate? No. This could be a Citrus Berry. Oh, it's not Citrus. It's from that damage you can tell it is Iron Fist. So Suicune should be able to break down Conqueror here, which will allow Noved to allow Dart to put in some work with his Bomber Snow. Bomber Snows usually run some sort of grass move, Giga Drain, Blizzard, Ice Shard, and then you can have like a variety of other moves really. Okay, that focus. I don't like the focus blast from Funds there. I feel like he should have just gone for the T-Bolt. So is it Grass Knot from and last is T-Tar, so last is Garchomp, so Dark's gonna win game 1. Interesting game. I feel like Noved shouldn't have tried to Hail Mary predict here. Thunderous used Focus Blast on the Suicune, and then Focus Blast again. That kind of indicates its specs. Fund. Perhaps. I don't know why you double blast. I mean, you can protect the Abomasnow coming in, but I just T-bot honestly, because you can use game 1 to find out whether the Abomasnow is Scarf. I feel like Scarf Grass Knot is not that good. I think Giga Drain is better overall. Anyways, we see game 2, Thunderous T leading off versus Suicune. Just click that T. Click some buttons. Oh, he hard HP ices into Garchomp. Very good play. The one thing is, so it is Scarf Abomasnow. Right here, I think Conkeldurr wins. You just should Dragon Punch, or you can double into Thunderous. Oh, a very nice play there. And yeah, the crit is unfortunate, but I feel like you just go into Conk at that point. And whatever Noved has in the back can win. Because you can't lock yourself into an ice move against this team. And every time we go Suicune, Thunder's going to come in and click a button. So we're going to see last game here. First turn again. So we see, I guess, what's the adaptation here? Problem is Dark's team is quite weak to Fun Tea. A lot of people don't really account for Fun Tea in their build process. I've been doing it, using it more and more. I know Kaori used it in his game this week, which I might show afterwards. But yeah, it's just really good. Just a solid wall breaker, and it has that, like, though it doesn't have Prankster, it has that solid matchup versus Thunderous Eye, which just makes it all the better versus good stuff, like as an anti-missile lead. So we see the T-Tar lead into the Abomasnow. We know it's Scarf. So we see that Stone Edge does nothing. Obviously the Seekin's bowled out of its arse. Nice Ice Beam on the switch to Latias. That doesn't do too much at all. So we see the Draco dropped. Is that a Dragon Gem? No. Yeah, that could be like specs perhaps. We're going to see the T-Tar come back in for the Volk. We're going to see, does it have Buzz? Yeah, it does, but that looks like to be a very specially defensive Tyranitar. Right here, the Custap, that is very unfortunate. Noved had that game right there, and Blizzard should be able to pick off Noved's team. So yeah, well, that is the risk you get for using Stone Edge, but he needed that to hit. Ooh, yeah, that really sucks. So yeah, really, the one Stone Edge miss meant that Dark took the series, which means that the comeback potentially for helmets is, you know, not the helmets, what are they? The drummers is potentially there. I like GBU, just the fast-paced nature of the games. There's, you know, even though most of these games only take like GBU games take like between 3 to 15 turns, there's quite a surprising lot of strategy into it, and especially understanding your matchups. So I'll show Kaori's game as well. Just this matchup, Kaori's bringing in like an interesting team with the Sash Hasselhoff. I know this team, obviously. I changed it a bit like just before or I helped shape it a bit just before the games. So originally it had High Dragon over Thunderous T, but I mentioned that it was a bit sweeping week, which is fortunate. This team from Bo3 looks very, very standard good stuffs. You cannot get more standard than this team. Well, basically what happens this game is that you see the Azov versus the T-Tar lead. Basically you have to sack Azov here. So we see the Stealth Rock come, Pursuit, 1, 2, 4. I'm trying to think whether it's probably Band-Aid, T-Tar, or Choice Locked. That's what I thought, at least. Pursuit makes more sense if you have a Band-Aid or Scarfed. But I feel like the thing with the problem with Choice Locked Tar is that you lose a lot of momentum, and Tar is something that can be set up on by a lot of the meta games. So we see the Scizor here, Acrobatics here, gonna take out the Conk. Really doesn't have a good switch into Scizor. Maybe switching hard into Cresselia. I don't know. I don't think you'd have won. You could switch. Actually, switching hard into Cresselia would have been the play here. Maybe. Oh, maybe sacking T-Tar was the play. But you just get +6, so that's even worse, really. There's no real good situation out of this, because the T-Tar allowed the setup to +2. The game was pretty much over. So yeah, Bullet Punch gonna come out, and that's game 1. Right here, what you expect the adjustment from Bo3, which I think he puts in this game, is he's going to bring the Suicune. Therefore, having the Thunderous in the back is going to be important. So we see the Azov lead again versus the Thunderous Eye this time instead of the T-Tar. That does a shit ton of damage. Kind of suggests that it might be Specs. Goes for the explosion. I'm surprised that Azov Kaori didn't go for the Stealth Rock there. Would have been decent in case it opens up more options versus the Thunderous, because it means it can only stay in 2 turns for the Sand. But yeah, decent chip on the T-Tar. We're going to see an SD again. So yeah, we see the Luna Dance into the Fund here. We can see the Volt Switch. So that's Specs. Yeah, no reason not to go for Bug Bite there. It's the best move you can use to hit both of these guys. I mean, Bug Bite's going to do tons to Fund, and this Scizor is especially bulky enough that it is going to live. Actually, I suggested this Scizor set to Kaori last week. It's bulky enough to live an Electric Gem T-Bolt from Thunderous Eye on the special side, which obviously is important since this is a Specs Fund. Doesn't seem to have what's it called? T-Bolt. Just has Volt Switch, which is interesting. Anyways, yeah, Thunderous T just comes in, and actually Thunderous T and wrecks pretty much everything on his team. except perhaps the Garchomp, because I'm pretty sure this is HP flying. Oh, so yeah, Kaori wins that. I just thought I'd show you that as a more interesting game. Well, it's not interesting. This is like pretty much the sum, but I figured I'd just show my team winning, because why not? Anyways, cheers for tuning in.